Guys, I have some really big and heavy news for you right now. And it has to do with the Ram heavy-duty pickup truck lineup. They are increasing their payloads in a very significant way, making their trucks even more capable and usable than ever before. And it's thanks in large part to you guys watching these videos, commenting, participating, wanting your trucks to improve. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything about it. I'm pretty excited by this. So the truck you see here is the brand new updated 2025 Ram Heavy Duty Laramie Sport Cummins Turbo Diesel. And it basically represents the truck that's improving the most. Ram raises the payload up by 850 pounds. So let me explain to you kind of what's happening here. And also some 3,500 trucks are improving their payload a little bit. And Ram is continuing to study more opportunities in this space. I just got some official word from Ram, and I can give you all the numbers here in this video as well. But first, I gotta show you an issue with this truck that I've been having over the last, I think, several years. Jen, come on over really quick. I've been critiquing Ram, and TFL Truck, all of us have been critiquing Ram pretty heavily specifically for their 2,500 trucks, that their payloads were not quite competitive enough, not super high enough to allow for maximum trailer towing and maximum usability. So, Jen, if you want to show this particular truck has, it's kind of a small font here, 2,099 pounds. You can kind of see it right here. But this is a turbo diesel truck. This Cummins engine has 430 horsepower now, 1,075 pound-feet of torque. The tow rating doesn't change with this new update, but these trucks can tow almost 20,000 pounds. And if you hook up a trailer like that, you're already using up about 2,000 pounds or more of payload using the tongue load of that trailer on your truck. So the fact that they're increasing their payloads for diesels only, by the way, diesel, so it has to be a Cummins, they're increasing that by 850 pounds, which is a pretty big deal, because now you can carry more stuff, you can bring your entire crew or family with you, you could tow those heavy trailers because these trucks are very capable, and this new 8-speed ZF automatic transmission makes this new updated diesel come to life. So I'm super psyched. Now here's what happened. All right, so how did this come about? So if your 2025 Ram 2500 or 3500 was built in May of 2025 or after, all those trucks have been recertified, which means Ram had to go out and retest, recertify. There's a lot going on here because as soon as you change the gross vehicle weight rating, you have to do certain specifications. You have to make sure that every element of the truck is still valid, is still capable. And these diesels specifically have kind of reinforced components, including some part of the frame, suspension, the way it mounts, axles, everything like that. And when you look at payload, because I get a lot of comments from you guys saying, who cares about payload? I just overload my truck every day. It's fine. Nobody cares. Well, actually, it's kind of a big deal. That's why I keep talking about it, is because, yes, potentially, let's say you overloaded your truck on one day. Let's say you said, let me continue doing this. This will wear out your truck faster because everything, including the wheel, the tire, the shock, the spring, the axle, the frame, all those components are working harder. And if you're exceeding some of those ratings, it becomes dangerous. So let's say, gosh forbid, you have an accident, and then, when your truck is, hauling in an overloaded situation, you could be liable for that. I'm not a legal expert, but you don't want issues, right? You don't want problems. You don't want accidents. It'll prevent you, from having a great weekend or a great day, or a good day at work turns into a horrible day at work, or turns into a horrible weekend. So they did not update, as far as I know right now, and the story is kind of still developing, they did not update any of the hardware on the truck. So the frame, the suspension, the axles, all the components on the diesel Cummins powered 2025 and 2026 Ram heavy duties and onward kind of remains the same. But the gross vehicle weight rating is now 11,040 pounds, which makes that payload close to 3,000 pounds, about 2,900. And now let me read you a little bit of a statement here to talk about what else is happening. So the gas 2500 remains the same. So basically gross vehicle weight rating still around 10,000 pounds. Some of them have slightly lower gross vehicle weight ratings, because 10,000 pounds is also, if you're buying it for work as a fleet vehicle, you may now have to have a CDL, commercial driver's license. If you're buying it for personal needs, of course, that doesn't really apply to you, but the gas 2500 stays the same. The Ram 3500 regular cab two-wheel drive gas Hemi-powered truck gets 290 pounds more payload. Every little bit helps. And Ram 3500 crew cab two-wheel drive gas truck also gains 290 pounds. And basically that means that all the trucks I just listed, the 3500 regular cab, crew cab two-wheel drive, and every Ram diesel 2500 now have 11,040 pounds of gross vehicle weight rating. And of course, sometimes you have this step that you can use to get into the bed. Yeah, that's the big news. And I think what's happening is because Ram kind of realized, they're maybe missing a little bit. They were not quite as competitive when you looked at the 2500 truck against a comparable GM heavy-duty 2500 or Ford F-250 lineup. Their 3500 trucks series have been very competitive for a very long time, but now they're stepping up their 2500 game, I think, in a very big way. And it'll help you pull gooseneck trailers, it'll help you pull fifth wheels, regular trailers, using, of course, the bumper, under bumper mounted hitch right there. So if your truck is rated like this one at about 19,900 pounds of maximum towing, and now you can actually push that truck a little bit closer to those limits. But I gotta tell you, watch for this. If you're pushing any vehicle very close to its limit, let's say be anything, Ram 1500, a mid-size truck, a compact vehicle, a crossover SUV, a heavy-duty truck dually, if you push those vehicles near limits, you may find that it drives differently. We recently did a Chevy 2500 test with maximum payload and trailer load, and we started touching bump stops.
Like now we're at 17.5, so we're at a 2,500 pound ton weight.
Yeah. So that's probably where we should be, right?
Yeah, because we're not skinny people.
No.
And so you gotta count us in and the cameras in and all this other stuff.
Yeah. And I also noticed that the truck squatted quite a lot.
I think we got at least 2 inches of squat there, but I wish all these brands would get together and all go to air suspensions. It dramatically would help. I mean, it is that part of it is probably the bump stop, but I don't know. I think that would even be harder if we were hitting bump stops. And just we finally got some good roads. We were on some really bad potholes, and it was just really bad ride. But
let me show you here. You can kind of see it basically above the axle. There's a little bump stop mounted, and basically when it starts touching the axle, kind of in this area, it's becoming a harsher ride. So if you squish the suspension down all the way, if you're coming close to those limits, the truck rides harsher. It may affect its handling characteristics. I mean, it will still work, but it becomes a different experience. It may be less capable or confident for you, the way you feel behind the wheel. So You got to really kind of watch those elements. And if you need to pull 20,000 pounds every day, I would say this is not the right truck for you, even though it can do it on occasion. If you're pulling 20,000 or above, or especially above, get a 3500, maybe get a dually. Get the vehicle that kind of satisfies your task and your use case and your scenario. But I'm super happy. I cannot wait to actually move some heavier loads with a new Ram 2500 truck. And once again, some of the late model 2025s, which are being built now, this applies to, and basically every 2026 Ram 2500 that comes out, this applies to. Speaking about 2026 trucks, Jen, come over this way. They have two new trim levels now. One of them, a Ram calls the HD Black Express, which starts out as a tradesman base truck, crew cab, shorter bed like this one, and it's kind of monochromatic look. They're having a sport hood. This is a sport hood with a bulge. I'm not a huge fan of this hood because it kind of takes away some of the visibility, but nonetheless, Ram is doing this new trim level, which is a little bit more affordable, and the starting price of that truck is under $54,000, including destination charges, which I think is a pretty affordable price. That is, I believe, for a two-wheel drive. And then they also have a heavy-duty Warlock, which is also based on the heavy-duty tradesman trim level, so basically a base level truck, but it adds a little bit more of off-road capability, all-terrain tires, a couple suspension tweaks. It just kind of becomes, the Warlock truck is kind of the affordable off-roader in the Ram lineup. They also have the 1500 Warlock, and that truck starts at around 57, just under $58,000. So once again, fairly affordable when you consider the competition, and adding capability for off-roading or a little bit more style. So Ram is adding to their lineup for 2026 in the heavy-duty space, and those trucks will have more payload. Win-win. All right, let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll be doing more testing with these trucks, and I'll see you next time.